I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by people like me, but only God can make a tree. That was 1913 that was written. One kind of consciousness of trees, certainly. And then we have Mary Oliver saying, when I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, stay a while. The light flows from their branches and they call again, it's simple, they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. You think of all the ways we've come to know trees particularly over the last while, and people that are involved with radical ecology movements, people who read Overstory, people who start to think of these beings that are among us as equal species in some ways. And there's a shift of consciousness when we start to imagine how we can be with and be like and learn from all the species we share the planet with. So I'm going to ask us before I show the slides, if you're comfortable and you have space to stand up for a moment. There's something about trees that needs some standing. So if not, stay sitting and you can adapt or modify, as my yoga teacher says. So we're going to just start with just standing like a tree. And that's a practice in Qigong. That's a practice many of you have done in dance, probably. Just as you stand like a tree, you can visualize then the roots dug down into the earth, way down deep, finding their purchase in the earth. So allow yourself just to feel that and feel what happens in your posture as you root down and your spine lifts and you feel yourself then growing with your arms, growing branches that reach up really tall. And let that unfurl, just like the spring here is unfurling the little leaves. And allow yourself to grow big, like a giant, giant tree, letting the energy of the earth circulate through your trunk, through all the rivers of energy that are in our bodies. And let yourself sway just a little bit with the wind. Imagine a wind just gently rustling your branches and might just shake everything in the arms while the trunk remains steadfast and firm and connected and rooted. And with this visualization then, and you just move as you feel, as anything moves you, that what moves? Certainly not your feet, just your arms. But imagine there in amongst all those roots, sending them out so that there becomes a connection and a network among all the other trees. And if we use our imaginations in a very large way, we can send those roots across the ocean and find the other members of our forest here. So tuning into that, you can let the arms come down and just rest in the heart of you, in the center of you, but noticing that axis of presence, that tuning into roots and branches gives you. You can find your seat again. And I just invite you, as you are going to be watching these slides and hear Ruth's poem, Ruth Sister's poem, to just be allowing yourself to be bathed in the essence of trees. Now, Ruth and I talked the other day, and she told me about her sister who is a poet and novelist, and her website will be in the chat in a while. And Ruth said that her sister wrote a poem about trees right after 9/11. And suddenly that seemed like the perfect bookend to this week with what's going on in our world right now. So you'll listen in Elizabeth is Ruth's sister's name. Elizabeth speaks to us about the trees and about our relationship to them.
Okay, the name of it is The Trees Know. The trees say to me, talk to us. We're here. We can hear. I sing to them of our suffering and chaos and harm. I ask forgiveness for my kind. I ask for help from theirs. I sit with my back against the great white swamp oak. She tells me what the trees know, what we must come to know. There is no separation in the deep place. All our roots connect across continents, oceans, time. We are held in one weave with the tiniest things, gnats and one-celled swimmers, with the hugest, eagles and whales, mountains, waves. We drink the same rain, turn to the same light, sigh with the same wind, return to the same earth. All that is can gather us in, all that is can heal us if we remember. The trees know. They want us to know they know. They will help us know. They will help us. The trees say to me, talk to us, we're here, we can hear. I sing to them of our suffering and chaos and harm. I ask forgiveness for my kind. I ask for help from theirs. I sit with my back against the great white swamp oak. She tells me what the trees know, what we must come to know. There is no separation in the deep place. All our roots connect across continents, oceans, time. We are held in one weave with the tiniest things, gnats and one-celled swimmers, with the hugest eagles same rain, turn to the same light. Sigh, sigh with the same wind. Return, return to the same all that is can gather us in. All that is can heal us if we remember, if we remember. The trees know, they want us to know, they know. They will help us know. They will help us. They will help us.
Thank you, Ruth. And please give Elizabeth our deep gratitude for her beautiful words.
I will.
So let's get our labyrinths. And put your hands in the center, that center where Lauren made the tree. And just attune for a moment. Remember what it felt like to call forth the rootedness and the sturdiness of standing like a tree with branches. And recall those images for a moment and those words of connection with the trees. So if that's appropriate in your walk, call on that. See what comes to you as you traverse the path of the labyrinth and come to the center. And allow yourself to be surprised too by what our walk brings today. We're all wisdom seekers here, and we need each other in the forest of our community to uphold our connection and to bring us to center in these times. So we'll see you at the end of the walk. A beautiful walk to each of you.
We drink the same rain, turn to the same light, sigh, with the same wind. All that is, all that is, can gather us in. All that is can heal us if we remember. If we drink the same rain, turn to the same light, sigh with the same wind.
Thank you, Ruth, as always. So let your hands be back in the center of your labyrinth one more time as we attune together, breathing together, in this practice that we do every week together. And whenever we do it, knowing that walking the labyrinth creates this field of connection. And we can reach out to each other as our roots reach out in our treeness, communicating with each other, helping us each to stand in our own way, holding the forest of our connection and community, reminding us of the center when the storms come. And from here, radiating out the peace that we all hold in our hearts as we walk. And consciously now, if we can, as this global forest, this global connection of labyrinth walkers, just visualize, if you would, the light that you hold in a peaceful way, simply radiating out in this world. The power of that. You can send your intentions on that wave of light here from the very center of each of our labyrinths, from the center of each of our hearts. And by the same token, receive in through your roots the love and connection and recognition and witness of all the others on this call and in the greater world of labyrinth walkers. Just allowing that reciprocity to fill up with this and radiating out the peace that comes. Breathing in the connection, breathing out into the planetary heart, our radiance and peace. Just take a few moments with that practice in mind. Just letting your breath remind you that this is something we can always do. And then allowing that practice to close and making the journey back to the consciousness that allows us to speak to each other and connect with each other. So I think we need to say a couple of announcements. One is that Ruth and I are giving a workshop, a qualifying workshop on April 18th, a Saturday, and you're all invited. We'd love to see you there, and we'll be teaching the chants that Ruth and I have collaborated on over a couple of decades, I think it is now, and doing labyrinth walks and small group activities. So we welcome everybody to look into that and join us.